Greetings, welcome everybody. It's Thursday, December 4th, 2025, 4 p.m. here at the Darien Police Department. This is the 2,499th meeting of the Darien Police Commission. Call to order. First order of business, I was not here, but I did watch and I did read the minutes. Motion to accept the minutes of 11/6/25.
I'll second.
All in favor? Great. Approved. Correspondence chief, we have three.
The first item is a letter we received from a Red Rose Circle resident thanking us for our efforts on a Saturday evening a couple weeks back where there were some suspicious individuals in the neighborhoods breaking into cars. And not only did we arrest them, but they had great interaction with some of the other officers that were doing follow-up canvasses, and they proceeded to give them tips on where to park their cars, how to keep them locked, that sort of thing. And the interaction was just very positive, and they took their time out to write me a letter. I don't have all the officers' names that were involved that night, but I know the entire shift was involved and they did a great job. So appreciate that. During Thanksgiving, we had all sorts of donations of food and snacks and goodies. We appreciate that. We sent thank you notes to the residents and businesses that participated in that. And then lastly, we received a gift card as a holiday gift from a resident on Norotan Avenue for a local restaurant, but as the commission knows, we're not permitted to accept gift cards, so by town policy, we'll turn that over to the Social Services Department and hopefully be able to give that to a family in need. And that is it for correspondence.
Great. Thank you, Chief. Next, department activity. So, department activity. Sorry.
No. This is from the period of November 7th to December 3rd. Some notable incidents. On November 8th, 2025, at approximately 9 p.m., patrol officers responded to the report of suspicious individuals with a flashlight in the driveway of a residence located on Chasmars Pond Road. Officers quickly arrived on scene and located and detained 3 Norwalk subjects nearby on Raymond Street. It was revealed that those subjects had entered multiple unlocked vehicles in the area. All 3 subjects were arrested and processed for various larceny and burglary charges, and their court date is scheduled for December 1st. On November 19th, patrol officers responded to a larceny at CVS located at 964 Post Road. It was determined that over $1,400 worth of high-end facial products were stolen by a male subject and a female subject, who then fled the scene. This incident is under investigation by the Detective Division, as it may be related to a similar incident that occurred earlier in the day in Stamford. In May of 2024, a burglary occurred at David Harvey Jewelers, located at 995 Post Road, in which over $230,000 worth of items were stolen from the business. Thorough investigation by the Detective Division led to the apprehension of 2 suspects. In November of 2025, the suspects entered into a plea agreement with the U.S. Attorney District of New Jersey. The suspects will serve multiple years in federal prison and will forfeit assets and pay restitution over $1.5 million. On December 2nd, a New York man turned himself in on multiple charges stemming from an incident in March of this year where a man entered a garage and stole a motorcycle. After investigation, the Detective Division identified the male subject and a warrant was approved for his arrest. He was processed and released by this agency and given a court date of December 31st.
Captain, was that the one where they cut the...
Yes, they cut the wires. On December 3rd, Darien detectives traveled to Massachusetts to pick up a prisoner that was wanted by 5 different Connecticut agencies, including ours, for theft of products from CVS. These occurred in May and August of this year, and it was a total loss of over $6,000. The New York subject was processed and brought to Stamford Court this morning. Some statistics during that time period. There was 1 domestic disturbance call and 4 domestic violence incidents, 4 identity theft incidents, 1 stolen motor vehicle. It was unlocked and the keys were in it. There were 47 motor vehicle accidents, 6 with injuries, no pedestrians included, and 5 of those were on private property. During the same time period, there was 235 traffic stops and 1,015 calls for service. Some other notable incidents. On November 12th, the department held its award ceremony at the Darien Library, where the department celebrated multiple achievements to include officer commendations, meritorious service awards, and life-saving awards. On November 14th, probationary officer Officer Cadigan graduated from the Stanford Police Academy. Officer Cadigan graduated at the top of his class and was presented with the Samuel J. Luciano Award, which is issued by the Connecticut Chiefs of Police Association to the recruit in each police academy who achieves the highest cumulative grade point average during basic training. Since graduation, Officer Cadigan has begun his 400-hour field training assignment with the Patrol Division. And lastly, on November 30th, patrol personnel attended Darien Sports Shop's annual Christmas tree lighting, and it was well attended by community members.
And Captain, you oversee field services and quite busy, 1,250 calls for service and traffic stops in a
Yes.
short period of time.
Yes,
So,
they've
well
been
done.
busy.
With those 5 incidents, just quite notable as always, the good work by the both patrol and detective divisions. Amazing, thank you, Captain. So I see a number of people here for, I think, specific issues. Next on the agenda is public comment. So if it's okay with y'all, we have traffic. So we're talking about West Ave, Holmes and Park, Weston Rings End, and Cliff. So we can open it up for public comment, or we can, I think what I'd suggest, if you're any one of those ones, we'll just wait for the traffic piece. Is that okay? Does anybody have an issue other than those specific issues? Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so nothing in public comment. Anything under old business?
I don't think so. Captain Mastrani's not here, obviously, but I don't think there was anything major that needed to be addressed.
Thank you, Chief. So no
Just our
building
authority.
issues. Okay, great. So then let's take traffic issues and then new business Cliff all in one chunk, if that's okay with everybody. Captain, you want to give us kind of just a quick overview of 398 West
So
Avenue?
at our last meeting, residents from the area of 398 West Ave came to discuss their concern about people speeding down the road and jumping the curb right in front of their home.
At the Big Bend?
What's that?
At
The curve right in front of 398. So after looking at some statistics and what was there in the past, we have determined, and I've spoken to DPW, that we're going to put a bunch of chevrons in the roadway leading up to the curves on both sides, which both residents on either side agree with. And there are fog lines there currently, but we want to put hash marks in the roadway leading up to that curve that has shown in the past to slow traffic.
So reinstall chevrons, hash lines in accordance with those fog lines.
Right, and DPW is on board with that. They don't paint until the spring, but if LTA agrees, they will do that. And the chevrons will go up as soon as they have them.
Why don't we take these one at a time? Commissioner Hayes, 398 West Ave at Captain Hidema's discretion, working with DPW, chevrons, and the hash marks along the fog lines.
Agreed.
Okay? Okay?
Holmes Ave and Park Lane, we had people in the past concerned about when they exit Park Lane towards Holmes Ave. There were some site issues with cars parking on either side, and they had a concern about no stop sign exiting their street. I've spoken to DPW. If LTA is okay with it, I would suggest putting 2 signs on either side of Park Ave, no parking here to corner, which is a 20-foot distance. If LTA approves that, that would handle the site issue there.
Mm-hmm.
And I will leave it because the Park Lane is a private road. I've also spoken to DPW about installing a stop sign there. They would have to purchase the sign along with painting a stop bar at the exit. That would be on
MTUPD compliant, right?
MUTCD compliant sign and stop bar. And DPW would install the stop sign, but the cost would be on the private road for the purchase of the sign and to stripe the roadway.
Okay. So movement of 2 no parking signs, giving 20-foot clearance to the intersection and moving it up to the residents' stop sign, and to purchase the compliant stop sign and install the stop bar. DPW will install.
Just trying to trip you up there a little bit. Having been out there, I think those are great recommendations. I think neighbors would be satisfied
Okay.
too, so second that.
Okay, done.
Just an update on West Ave at Rings End. Last we spoke, last meeting, we approved the crosswalk, the dynamic crosswalk signs there, which Rings End will be installing. Last time I spoke to the owner, he was reaching out for permits from the town. That was
Great, so
just-
no
just-
action required.
No action
Just a-
required,
just
just
a
an
permit,
update.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and is this one of the activated ones, Ally, or is it
Yes,
just going to be a
so-
test? Oh, great,
So they
awesome.
you
Good.
hit the button on either end and it flashes.
Okay,
Been up at the high school recently too, I saw.
that's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just an update on 805 Post Road. They presented to us last time. LTA made some comments, and we have not heard back yet. We're still waiting for a...
Revised traffic study.
Right.
Okay.
I think it's also important to have on record that we did submit our letter to planning and
We did
zoning
indeed.
before the last
Preliminary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will keep that, Sergeant, on the agenda for when we
Yeah,
receive.
Captain, just to reiterate, right, that was a preliminary letter. Hopefully they understand it's not our final comments, just because we haven't received anything yet.
Right, we haven't received
Okay.
anything since.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Are any of y'all here for any one of those? It's all Cliff Ave, right? Okay, thank you. I didn't want to skip anybody. Okay, perfect. Thank you for the update. New business, Cliff Avenue.
So myself and Officer Tim Budd have been in contact with residents from Cliff Ave regarding some concerns they have on the roadway. I'll let you speak, and then we can talk about what we discussed at our meeting.
Can I read our petition?
Sure.
Is that,
Yeah.
or is that too?
When you stand up, just say your name and your address.
I stand up.
Or you can sit, it's fine, whatever.
So I'm Laura
They didn't stand
Bickmeyer,
up. When are you making you stand up?
Laura Bickmeyer at 15 Cliff Avenue, and we have 12 houses on the street, and everyone except one household has signed this petition that I'm about to read. We haven't been able to reach that one house. So over the past 2 years, Cliff Avenue has become increasingly unsafe due to speeding, distracted driving, and cut-through traffic from Tokenique Road to 95, and 95 rerouting to Wegmans, and also to Wegmans and Target. It's a residential street used daily by families walking to the bus stop, children biking to Tokenique Elementary, adults walking to the train station, and in the dark during the winter months, seniors walking pets, and neighbors simply trying to enjoy the walkability of Darien. Yet, despite this daily pedestrian activity, the road lacks even the most basic protective infrastructure. And it's not that it might feel as if people are driving faster than they are. They actually are. Speeds of 33 to 35 miles per hour are quite common. While that may not be considered ticketable or even alarming from an engineering standpoint, it is unquestionably too fast when you're walking your dog or your 9-year-old is biking. At those speeds, a driver cannot safely stop if a dog steps just a few inches into the lane or a child swerves unexpectedly. And even more alarming, we frequently do observe vehicles exceeding 40 miles per hour. This most often occurs when drivers turn right onto Cliff from Tokenique Road on a green light. Because they are not turning from a full stop, they enter the street already traveling around 25 miles per hour. As they head north up the hill, they accelerate quickly and easily reach speeds approaching 50 miles per hour. This stretch of road has no visual deterrence, making it easy for drivers to speed without consequence. Additionally, many cars ignore or do a rolling stop at both stop signs at the top of Cliff. It is well documented that speeds above 10 to 15 miles per hour pose significant risks to pedestrians. And even 25 miles an hour could be hazardous when visibility is limited or pedestrians are sharing the road. This is particularly true on Cliff Avenue, where homes are set just feet from the pavement and there are no sidewalks. Residents have witnessed multiple near-miss incidents, including vehicles swerving at the last second to avoid pedestrians and nearly colliding with oncoming traffic. In early August, a cyclist was struck by a car at the intersection of Cliff and Tokenique Road. And litter, often consisting of alcohol containers, is regularly discarded along the roadside, raising further concerns about impaired or distracted driving. We believe these conditions present an urgent safety hazard and require prompt action to protect residents, children, and all who use this residential road. We are most actively seeking the sidewalk on one side of the street. And
Which is beyond the purview of this group.
right, but we do understand there's a sidewalk committee that is now part of LTA. So we would like, is that true? Is there a sidewalk committee?
No, so they're complete separate. I don't believe the sidewalk committee has started yet.
Okay.
They're looking to start one.
Well, if there is a sidewalk committee, we are very interested in being
I
first.
don't think we would fight against it. Oh, we can tell you that.
And then so I know you can do some of the immediate suggestions that we've thought about, which is pavement markings, fog lines on the side.
And I understand that there used to be fog lines there, is that right?
I don't,
That I don't know.
we didn't know at the time.
Okay.
The road looks like, it's like Legacy Road, like it was a quiet town road
Yeah.
back in the day. And
Right.
since then, it kind of looks like 5 Mile River Road on the other side with it, which is a no outlet road. And this has now become a through road. I mean,
Okay.
because the infrastructure just is not caught up with demographic changes.
So
Chris
fog-
Brophy,
yeah.
10 Cliff Ave. We've been on the street for about 30 years plus, and we don't recall any lines on the
No,
road.
okay. I might be remembering that, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I'm sorry, we
Fog lines to visually kind of push drivers farther from the edge and naturally slow traffic. We're looking for traffic calming measures. And a speed limit sign with an integrated digital speed display in both directions. Add slow children at play or similar signage. An additional slow down bollard. Paint slow at the bottom of the road and top of cliff. And we hope these measures will help reduce speeding, increase driver awareness, protect pedestrians and cyclists, and preserve the residential character of our neighborhood. We're also a neighborhood where our houses are close to the road. We're not like Middlesex, where we're all, it's like an acre back. We're right there. Our driveways are right there.
So the request is increase signage,
Fog lines.
bollard, fog lines.
So,
A slow sign, like right now we have one speed.
Oh,
here's-
slow sign on the, painted on the road.
Yes, and
Okay.
also a speed limit sign that's visible, ideally attached to your actual speed. So where it's like, here's the speed limit, and here's what you're doing, or slow down.
Yeah, okay.
Both
There's one on the
directions.
way down. I'm talking about like Laura's husband.
Listen, we get it, we totally get it. I think the only suggestion I would make is you do these things kind of sequentially, right? Not all at the same time. That's a big lift. We're gonna direct Captain Hidema to work with you guys at her discretion to, how we're gonna sequence these things. Fog lines, bollards, speed signs, speed on the road. Do you have any-
so just,
No, I do want to defer to Captain Hidema in a moment. Just so we can move forward. I forgot your name, I'm sorry.
Laura.
No, in the back.
Oh,
Chris Brophy.
You're here to be an advocate for the fog lines or against the fog lines?
I'm here to be an advocate for whatever makes the road
Makes it
safe.
much easier, okay. Captain Hidema, yeah.
okay, so, oh, yes.
Yeah, I just had one other comment. The other thing to notice is that
You just state your name.
Steve Mason, 21 Cliff. There's a great sidewalk now on Tokenique, so that's now used more frequently by pedestrians, and access to it is like non-existent. And then up on Raymond, there is a sidewalk. So Cliff is like the gap in kids coming down from the longer part of Raymond and kids coming up and going to school. So, we see that all the time.
We can certainly recommend a sidewalk, but we have no power.
but can you help us recommend one? That would,
Yeah.
whatever you can do.
Well, okay, so let me update on everyone since we met, because we had a nice meeting and went through some stuff. Just a little history, so we did a speed study in 2023 where the average speed there was 28 miles per hour. And then we did one just recently, it was there for 2 weeks, the average speed was just under 27 miles per hour.
It's 25 mile per hour speed limit.
It's a 25 mile per hour speed limit there now. So speed-wise, that's an average. And as a number, I'm not saying what you said was wrong, but for us, when we look at the whole, project problem, so the one we just did was 31,000 vehicles, there were 54 enforceable violations, so that is 40 or higher. So, just to give you know,
Captain,
it's,
are those metrics going both ways or
Both.
just down?
so those are both ways. The uphill, which you wanted just uphill, was 26 miles per hour average. So I think the speeding issue, I'm not saying you never see a car speeding, but overall, the average is 26 to 28. So, and I ran the history of accidents. There's one accident actually on Cliff in 10 years. And at the intersections, yes, there are accidents, there have been accidents there, right? We've put a bollard, right?
Which I've seen
that-
run over 3 times.
Yeah, when I tell you how many we have to replace throughout town, it's ridiculous. Either people take them or they're run over it all the time. So yours is not the only place. We have the speed sign out, right? We've done that. We've done more enforcement in the area. I don't know if you've seen
We've seen that.
vehicles there. So we're trying to fix the behavior. I spoke with DPW, and there was a slow written on the road at one point on the way from Tokenique up the hill. So there was something there. They can replace that. It probably just didn't get replaced after they repaved or something. And I was told also there used to be fog lines. We checked with DPW because to put fog lines, you have to have enough travel space for the vehicles. DPW says there's barely enough room. There may be, we talked about this when I saw you, there may be some spots on the roadway where it's a little tight to get them in, but if LTA approves, they can put those back in. I spoke to some people at Town Hall that are looking to start this sidewalk committee, and I said, you know, I have a spot to look at, and so I did pass your comments along to them, so they're aware of the sidewalk in that area. And when they do start that, I will be happy to remind them of your street. So we talked about updating signs there, like you mentioned, you know, the kids at play, or, you know, caution kids, updating the speed signs there too, maybe just make sure they're newer so they're visible. We also discussed the dynamic speed sign. When you leave a dynamic speed sign in one area, it becomes ineffective after the course of 2 months. So, and we only have a limited number of them throughout the town there. They're very costly. We have to replace one on Kuwait, it's almost $10,000. So we take them and we move them around to areas that have concern. Doesn't mean we're taking it and you'll never see it again, but we have to, you know, take them down, put them other places, and then we can put them back up so they're not there all the time. So my suggestion is, let's start with the things we can do, no problem. And that's, I would say, the slow, right? We pave the slow, we replace the signs that are already there, maybe newer, or if there are no kids at play there, we'll add those signs. That is not a problem. I think we should add back the fog lines and see, and I think that will really dramatically slow people down. And then let's see what happens. In the spring, we'll put the bollard back. We could put the speed sign back, you know, at different intervals in time and different locations on the street. And I think we start there and see how that goes.
I would perhaps in that sequence, maybe have the fog lines be last in that sequence. See how we do, that's a fairly permanent.
Right.
And sometimes residents don't like that look on a residential street,
I'm just
right?
looking that up.
So let's, if it's okay, let's leave that last in the sequence.
I was going
You
to
can
say, let's
change
do it
that.
first.
Yeah.
Well, it can't, you know what, they don't paint until the spring anyways. We're gonna have to
okay.
wait until they,
Okay.
because it's too cold, the paint won't stick, so
So I
they
think-
have to wait.
Well, just think about the aesthetics of that.
Are they white or yellow?
Yes,
They're
they're
white and they make your road look awfully not residential. We've gotten quite a bit of pushback when residential
But
streets have.
we're the residents.
And we all
We're the
signed.
residents.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not saying not to do it,
Yeah.
I'm just saying perhaps you move that towards the end of the
Thanks for,
cycle.
yeah, we.
Yeah,
we
just
think
briefly,
about it.
just as Commissioner Cunningham said, so we're all very familiar with the road too. The 4 people actually grew up here in town, so, and are up here. The rest has been here for a long time. It does make it look more commercial. Safety's more important than that, for sure.
Totally.
Resale, all that stuff, so you just have to think about that. What I mean by that is, you know, if you want to put another speed limit sign there, you have 2 already. Do you want the 3rd, or do you just want to keep the 2? These are things that you guys should discuss. I think Commissioner Cunningham is very open to it. We'll vote on it. And then speak to
Absolutely.
Captain Hidema on the side as to your priorities, and we'll give her the discretion to be able to implement what we see fit.
Hi, I'm Mimi Brophy, 10 Cliff Avenue. There was a slow children at play sign as you turned from Tokenique Road to go up the hill. I don't think it's there for quite a long time,
Okay.
so that might be an
Yeah,
easy one to do
I know there's
sooner
one on
than
the
later.
other side after the stop sign's coming down.
Right, I don't
Okay,
think there's
okay.
one going uphill
Yeah,
in
that's
quite a
fine.
long time, but there was
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
That's fine.
Thank you.
All right, fully supportive of all those things. I think we should suggest, I'm so
Just-
sorry.
That's all right.
So
So
sorry.
just 2 kind of slightly unrelated comments. So George Cobb, I live on 63 Rainier, which is like right around the corner somewhere, is walking the dog child on the loop. So one comment is, you know, the speed that you captured. I was thinking it's so curvy and bendy. My observation while walking the dog and children is that people will often like come really fast and like see me and like slam the brakes. So I have a feeling that there are like certain parts, like I know that Tokenique was mentioned, like, you know, that they're going fast and then they have to slow down. So I don't know if there's anything that can be done to like help with that. I mean, the things
I
we're talking
think
about.
it,
You know what I mean? It's
the
not like a
placement of the
speedy.
bollard
What's
can be
that?
put, the placement
So
of
those
the
work,
bollard.
those have worked, because
Yes.
I've seen them work, like when I'm walking a dog, but like everyone said they get knocked over, so.
Right.
I don't know.
I think
how to
we,
fix that, but-
if you guys are going to agree on the fog lines, I think we wait and see how those work out, and we will put the bollard back, and you can coordinate where the bollard goes to
Yeah.
slow, where you think people are, going a little fast.
So my other comment was on the fog lines, though I don't think I.
Keep in mind, we need a line of sight as well with those bollards. and
Yeah, I
things
think
like
that- I think they
So that
help.
people don't,
I
you put
think-
it too close to that curve, you can't see, it's dangerous.
Yeah, with the fog lines, which I'm not 100% sure I know what it is, but if it's what I think it is, the road is narrow, so I don't know if it could possibly create a situation where people think like, well, I'm on the road, like almost a negative, like, this is my road, you know, do you know what I'm saying? Like, because I like if you have like a nice path, like let's say a bike path, then it's kind of like, this is the road, this is the bike path. If the fogger, if it's what I'm thinking it is, goes all the way to like the edge, because when I'm walking, you know, around, I'm always like on people's lawns, because like people are coming and there's nowhere to go, so I don't know if that
Well,
fog line
I don't
will
think
make
that's
it
gonna
better.
be able to change much.
Right, you
because
can't
the
make the
roadway
road.
is the width it is.
That's what
And
I'm-
the fog lines have to be
Of certain,
a certain distance, so you have enough
oh,
width
that's what I
in,
thought,
width
it could
in
be
each travel
a
lane for
negative
the
in this
vehicles
case.
to be in.
So this could be a negative, because they might actually,
So
they might think they have more
typically-
room than, you know, does that make sense what I'm
Well,
saying?
so-
It makes you drive more toward the center
Sure,
line.
exactly,
Which is why it's important.
Right.
I just
It
want
also
to say,
tends to slow people down.
yeah,
Okay.
It
Right.
narrows the road, right?
Yeah.
Keeps that feeling there.
Okay, so if it's narrowing
So
it.
it's
Yes.
slow,
Yeah.
resulting in
Visually,
traffic calm, yeah.
you tend to, because you, even though you still have technically the same space, visually, when those lines are
Okay.
there, it kind of narrows it, and
Okay.
traditionally, people tend to slow.
But Captain, that road's
Okay.
not all that, to his point, it's not all that
Right.
wide.
That's what I'm
There's
worried
not-
about.
There's not much we can do about the width of the road.
Yeah, I'm more worried, like, if
Yeah.
that fog line is like, gives you this much room between a line of grass, that's all I'm
but
saying.
at least there's something. They have them on, I forget the name of the road that goes by the pond on Long Neck. And toward the end, when it gets up to Kings Highway.
Yes.
It's very skinny, and I know our road is wider than where some of that is, but it helps you focus on like where the side of the road is, and it gives you, it just gives you a sense to slow down.
Well, Tokenique Road right around the corner, they did it not a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's effective for sure.
Yeah,
It is.
That gives you space. I mean, it's a residential street. It's not, again, I have to emphasize, we know the speeding, although to us it is, if you're walking on that same road and someone's even going 25 miles an hour, frankly, it feels very fast.
Well, the
So some sort
challenge-
of space,
Yeah.
ideally sidewalk, we will fight for that, but in the meantime,
They don't have their foot on the brake, I'll tell you that. So I think part of the problem is when they're coming from the bottom of the hill, they're gunning it to go up the hill. So, their foot is on the gas. If something were to happen, they're not really
Yeah.
touching the brake at like they do maybe on going down.
There's a
the
few
hill.
spots where they're going really fast.
Yeah.
it's not the whole road, it's like,
That's my observation. If you get closer to Tokenique, either they're rushing down towards the bottom
Yep.
to catch,
They
to
do.
beat the light.
They do.
Yep.
Or if the light is green, they
coming
can either make a left or
Yeah.
a right onto Cliff, and that's where you see the acceleration, they
Yeah.
accelerate. So they're already going, as you pointed out,
From a major
20,
road.
25, they
Yeah,
hit
that's
the turn, and they accelerate up the hill.
Okay.
I've
You wanna
I've been out there a lot,
transition
I've watched it.
Yeah, I think, listen, we are, all
I just
sorry,
gotta make
sorry,
one
Chief.
comment. It's also our role to educate you with some of these things, and I know we touched on it a little bit, but I have to tell you, we've had these things kind of not turn out the way residents want. I know most of you are here. I lived on Chasmarsh Pond for 22 years, and I've been in town my whole life, so I know the road well. I've done this for a little bit now, and when we start putting lines and signs and paint in people's neighborhoods, they see how it turns out, and they're kind of like, oh, I don't know about this now. Like
Which is
the
why
commissioner
I
said,
kind
the
of
resale.
suggested the sequencing of these things, because all at once you can
It's
go,
gonna look
oh,
kinda
wow,
commercial.
this is not good. So we're gonna authorize Captain Hedema to work with you to sequence all of those bollards, signs, the stop signs. I'm not gonna force you guys to keep the fog lines as last. I would highly suggest, because I was on P&Z for 8 years, and I've been doing this now for 8 years, that you perhaps move that towards the back of the quiver of the things that we can do to quell some traffic on there. Again, we're not gonna require you to, but just something to think
See
about.
what it looks like, see
See what it
if it's
looks like.
effective.
I think there are a number of
Too.
things that we can sequence that will get the job done, and if we need to pull the fog line out of the quiver, we can certainly do that. Is that fair?
I must say, I think putting like a sign, children at play,
That was
Right,
included, yeah, signage,
I
yep,
don't
absolutely.
think it's effective.
Well, yeah,
I think people
It's
can
debatable.
yeah.
That's one of the things that you may want to consider. If you put 2 of those up,
Right.
you know, you're gonna have 10 signs on your road.
That's my point.
And what's effective, what's not
I'd
effective.
rather have less signs.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Fine.
authorize
You work
Captain
with the
Didema to work with you guys to sequence and to do this to fit your guys.
And one other point about the sidewalks, it will change the way that the neighborhood's gonna look if you get it. I think it would be the safest alternative. I wish you the best of luck at that, but what people don't realize is come wintertime, you're responsible for the clearing of the sidewalks, and that's a historical problem we have here in town. It's enforceable by the town ordinance, and it's up to the owners, so just keep that in mind as well.
Okay. Everybody okay with that? I think we got, Sergeant, you get the motion that we're gonna authorize Captain Didema to work with the residents to sequence any one of those different traffic quelling measures?
Kids, you good with that? What do you think? You good?
Cooper, are you good with that?
Alexander,
I think Dad and Mom should take you to Rico's tonight. I'm just saying, guys, what do you think?
Rico's, never heard of that place.
Okay, we really appreciate your input, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time, guys.
Thank you. Okay. Alarm fund, canine equipment.
So So, as you're aware, Canine Argo is looking to retire in the next few months. We have a new canine officer that we've been training, and Officer Nair's dog is almost ready to go on patrol with him. But he will not be fully trained for about three more months. So during that time, we want to have Argo on board, as well as the new canine, until that canine is fully trained. And so we require some equipment for the new dog.
Do we have a name for the new dog yet?
I do not know the name for the new dog yet, no, I don't think. we have. But part of that equipment is a crate, collars, leash, all those things that you need for the training of the new dog. So we are requesting up to $2,200 from the alarm fund to cover those pieces of equipment.
Move to approve 22, up to 22, is it up to
Up to
2,200?
22.
Okay, move to approve 2,200 for the new canine equipment.
No comment, second.
Okay, favor aye? Great. This is not a special session, so we do have anything else?
Nothing else?
The only other thing we have to do, right, is the date for next, just pull out the trustee old.
What are we scheduled for, right? You know?
18th is the next
It's a little
schedule.
December 18th, but
The next one after that would be January 15th. Since the first is Thursday.
The only way I would lean maybe towards the 18th of this month is if you're available, first of all. If 805 Post Road has another revisit, there's a time sensitive type thing,
okay.
because
Can
then
we-
we're going to January 15th.
Why don't we just put it on the, pencil it in? Can we possibly do 4:30? I have a 4, I can take it from over here. Is that all right?
Yeah, whatever you want.
4:30 on the 18th?
7 a.m.
Sergeant? Sure, if you want to do it, well, no, I mean, let's.
18th, 4:30.
Yeah, is that okay with you?
Sure. 18th. Yeah, I mean, I'll have, yeah, that's good for me.
Captain?
It's fine with me.
18th, next meeting, 18th on 4:30. We are going to go into executive session after this. We are not going to take any votes, so we do not need to come out. Go to adjourn.
Sounds good.
All in favor? Great.
Second.
Thank you all again for coming.
Thank you.